Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the newest episode of Redemption HQ. Today, we are speaking from the vault of Agile Heroes. I am joined today with Mr. Harlan, Mr. Robert, and Spectral Force. But first, let's discuss our poll winner, and that was by a long mile, the Scoundrel, with martial artist at the lowest was at 17% and sharpshooter at 33%. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts on our major winner for the poll?
I knew it
Everybody
was
loves
gonna
a
be
scoundrel.
I knew it was going to be Scoundrel. It had to be.
I love my
My-
scoundrels when they're dirty and rotten.
Absolutely. Low down and dirty.
Everyone loves an underdog.
Truly.
Well, it doesn't look like we have any new news, so we can go ahead and get started right away. So, who would like to take the lead?
I'll start this one off since I had a miss last show.
Okay.
Um,
Welcome
so
back.
thank you. It's felt like it's been forever since I've been here. Hey, excuse me, waitress, can I get another side of the nachos? Yeah, extra cheese. Yeah, all right.
Will those
You
be
know-
on the house?
Of course they're on the house. It's a nacho house. So we're in the vault. Let's say make sure the air conditioning's working and our air reclamation system so we don't suffocate. So we have continuing the agile heroes from last episode. We have the combat scout. You are a master of stealth and observation in warfare. You are tasked with ensuring the way ahead is safe for your team and with finding the enemy positions before the enemies find yours. In the shadows, you are a deadly foe in the offensive. And when the tables are turned, nearly impossible to catch. The combat scout possesses a wide range of very useful proficiencies for covert operations. They also enjoy excellent mobility in combat and access to a range of enhanced defensive bonus actions. At high levels, level 7 through 9, they can perform silent kills, helping their team infiltrate enemy positions. Silent kills. Parts are deadly. We have proficiencies. We have the combat scout saving throws are Dex and Wisdom. Makes some sense. Skills, stealth, and choose 3 more from acrobatics, athletics, deception, endurance, investigation, perception, security, sleight of hand, streetwise, survival, and vehicles. That's a lot of skills to choose from. I mean, you get stealth, but then, you get a list of 7 or 8 more to choose from and only get 3. Your equipment is basic, advanced, and military.
Nice.
That's pretty
Very.
essential when you can pick up all of those, because there's a handful of subclasses that just throw you basic or advanced. To get the military equipment is a huge leg up.
Big time.
Let's see. Following that up, we have reconnaissance expertise. You gain expertise in either stealth or perception. And as always, you must be proficient in a skill to gain the expertise. Let's see. Equipment recommendations. Equipment pack, combat scout pack. Wow, the class has its own pack. Look at that.
Whoa.
Weapons, sniper rifle, and combat knife. Yeah,
Sniper rifle.
that one's long range, what's up close and personal.
We
So,
touched on the sniper rifle stuff last episode, where I was saying, I've got I love the idea of a sniper, but I feel like at the table I never really get to use it at its full capacity. But I think I want to say it was Sig that had brought up in the comments that the core rules do have some tips on handling snipers in EDH play. Adventures in enclosed spaces are obviously not so great for them, but anything outdoors, I usually let the sniper set up off map if they want, covering the party from high ground, which we talked about. So there's a good suggestion to just be like, all right, your guy's just off the map, and we'll put him at 300, 400 feet.
Death from above or from afar.
Yes. Yes. You never hear the bullet coming.
Yeah,
Nope.
that's how it should
Oh.
be.
All right, let's dig into some talent. At first level, we get Eagle Eye, Quiet, and Vanish. Vanish sounds pretty good. Let's see. Eagle Eye. You can take the search action as a free action once during each of your turns.
Nice.
That is nice. Then Quiet. You have advantage on dexterity stealth checks made to avoid making noise or alerting others with sounds that you might make. However, you cannot make an inherently noisy action quiet, such as firing a gun. That requires a suppressor. Well, still not silent. It is lower decibel.
Mm-hmm.
And Vanish. You can take the hide action as a bonus action. If you aren't surprised, you can also hide as a reaction to start of combat. You may move up to 10 feet to reach a suitable location to hide. If you can't reach a suitable location within 10 feet, you cannot use this reaction. That's actually pretty cool.
That's great.
You hide as a bonus action, or at the beginning of combat, you can use it as a reaction. That's
Set yourself up for advantage.
exactly. So let's see. Level 3, you get 3 more. We start with Cautious. You have advantage on ability checks made to detect traps and hidden enemies. This grants advantage on passive perception checks, represented as a +5 bonus to passive perception. Ooh, you get a high wisdom with that. That at third level, if you had a 16 to start with, or 15 +2, that's a +7. That's not bad.
Not at all.
You also get scout training. Choose one skill from acrobatics, athletics, deception, endurance, investigation, perception, security, sleight of hand, streetwise survival, stealth, and vehicles. You gain proficiency in the chosen skill or expertise in the chosen skill if you're already proficient. So basically, your scout training gives you an extra expertise if you have one of the skills already. So that's also not bad. And for the third one at their level, Swift. Once during a turn, when you take this dash or disengage action, your movement speed is increased by 10 feet, and you can ignore difficult terrain during that turn. That's pretty good too.
Here, here.
Let's see. At level 5, you get advanced combat training, and as we know, once during a turn, when you take the attack action, you can make 2 attacks as part of that action. That's pretty standard. And level 7, you get another 2. Advanced scout training. Choose one skill from acrobatics, athletics, deception, endurance, investigation, perception, security, sleight of hand, streetwise, survival, stealth, and vehicles. You gain proficiency in the chosen skill or expertise in the skill that you already have. Level 7, Quiet Kill. As a special attack with a melee weapon, you can silently take down an enemy under the following conditions. You and your target must not be in combat. Your target must be stationary and unaware of your presence. You must be within 5 feet of your target. The quiet kill is resolved using a special contest between you and the target. Make a melee attack roll versus your opponent's constitution saving throw. You cannot use advantage on this special attack roll. If you win the contest, the target is killed unless you choose to make a non-lethal finish, in which case they are knocked unconscious for 8 hours.
Holy moly.
If the contest fails, roll damage as if it were a standard attack. If the target is not killed or knocked unconscious by the quiet kill, combat begins, and all potential combatants roll for initiative.
That's
You cannot
awesome.
you cannot use your vanish talent if combat starts as a result of a failed quiet kill.
Makes sense.
The GM has discretion whether to allow the use of quiet kill against the pivotal antagonist in the adventure.
Plot armor.
Yes. Yes. It's like, nope, sorry, you cannot quite kill the major bad guy of this adventure. I mean, usually at a certain point, your characters are going to be high enough level that they're going to obliterate the enemy in one round anyway. Why give them the added advantage?
They're giving an out to the DM to the GM to be like, oh shit, like they rolled up through. I planned this entire session and he's dead.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, we get the final two talents at level 9. Higher awareness. You can take the dodge action as a bonus action. And silent assassin. You can perform a quiet kill from up to 60 feet away with your target by making a ranged attack roll in the contest instead of a melee attack roll. However, the weapon that you are using must not have the loud property. So now I'm picturing Rambo with a bow and arrow. Give him that compound bow.
I was thinking Burt Reynolds in Deliverance.
So there we have the Agile Hero Combat Scout, which sounds pretty badass. Kind of like a cross between a ranger and a little bit of a rogue from the fantasy aspects. Anybody have any thoughts?
I'm a big fan of the quiet kill ability and the silent assassin is a very cool thing to be able to be like, to step in and be like, all right, I can eliminate this outright. And the fact that it does give it's an 8-hour knockout.
Mm-hmm.
So like from a GM's perspective, yes, it does give the GM an out to say like, okay, well, you just killed like a linchpin in something or something vital. But the fact that it's an 8-hour knockout also gives the GM leeway to be like, okay, well, this character is out, choked out, whatever. This character NPC can still come back. But it's like a lot of things that, once again, relating back to D&D, there are tools in your belt to be like, all right, I have something that can kill these characters outright. And it's pretty rare. I mean, you do get it at a higher level, no doubt. Like level 7, you get quiet kill. 9, the swift assassin, to be able to drop something from 60 feet out.
Beautiful.
Is pretty rad. And you do get, 4 skills on the outright is really not bad. I mean, the Agile heroes generally get a handful more skills, but this, I'm actually a big fan. I haven't looked too closely at the Combat Scout. It's definitely something I've passed over and been like, I'm gonna have to dive into that at some point because, but I don't know why I've never really jumped into looking at this Combat Scout, but.
It's a beautiful class.
Definitely, yeah. The quiet skill and the hiding as a reaction, that is pretty understated in how mechanically helpful that can be.
Yeah.
Hiding as a bonus action is awesome. Being able to hide as a reaction off turn, that's a sleeper trait right there.
Yeah. One thing for GMs, you get the GM Fiat 2 situation where, depending on what villain you're up against, you could theoretically and feasibly have it where, it's a dictator of another country. Yeah, they might be able to pull this off, but hey, that might not be him. That might be a body double. It's kind of a situation. So now your team thinks that they got rid of the big bad, but turns out the big bad might be in a bunker somewhere else. So you can always do that kind of thing too.
The bait and switch.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and smoke and mirrors, all that kind of stuff. So, you could always pull that off too if you, if you as a GM, if you don't feel quite as satisfied with having your whole adventure taken down within 1 or 2 battles, but this is just an idea.
And
I know we mentioned.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Robert.
I know we mentioned the character of Leroy Gibbs when we talked about the sharpshooter class last week. But looking at this Combat Scout, I mean, this is pretty Marine sniper right here. This is Gibbs to a T, and it's like this blend of the lethality of the sharpshooter with the skill mastery of the scoundrel. Is what this class for me. What really makes this for me is the, like you said, you get 4 skills on the outset plus an expertise, and then at 3rd and again at 7th level you get yet another skill or possibly expertise. This is a
lends directly to
very
that
versatile
combat
character.
scout.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very versatile character.
Definitely. And touching back on like that GM help right there, you know, for someone who is like, oh no, like they're coming up, well, you can't do this quiet kill. Me personally as a GM, I don't love the idea of being like, well, you took this class for this ability that allows you these quiet kills. I wouldn't want to take that away from a player. So I think you bring up a good point of being like, okay, well, if it's a high level dictator, then okay, it's a body double. Like that is a smart GM way to allow the player that ability still, but maybe to not like hamper your plot. And I don't really, I don't, I've always, anytime I'm writing a campaign, a one shot, any series of games, I learned early on to not like write myself back into a corner where if this thing happens, then this thing can't happen. If this thing happens, then this can't happen, because, you know, I think it's a new GM pitfall to write too far ahead or to place plot points in advantageous positions for the players to stomp on. And you know, you obviously don't want to railroad players, but you know, a good GM will kind of give them that leeway, and it'll give you a lot of opportunities to lean into the rule of cool and be like, you know what, this is fair. You took this class, you managed to make the proper moves to get to a point where you can put down like this big bad. All right, you silent kill him from 60 feet out at level 9.
Oh man, yeah, no, good point. Good point. Well, this that pretty much conclude our thoughts on our silent but deadly.
I would think so.
All right.
All right. So I think next up is the graceful warrior.
Mm-hmm.
A popular
Oh.
one too. The
Very
Graceful
popular.
Warrior. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And this one hails originally from the Highlander cinematic adventure, just like the Combat Scout came, I believe, from Rambo. And this is, again, love Highlander, love the historical fiction aspects. And this class it's like a dance. It's like being a dancer of death. It's fantastic. So here we go. Graceful warriors focus on intensive training, technique, and timing to gain the upper hand against any opponent, no matter how physically powerful that opponent is. The way of the graceful warrior requires patience and sacrifice, but there are no better warriors in a one-on-one contest. The graceful warrior class is a defensive melee combatant. They are skilled duelists who seek to gain an edge over a single opponent in combat, controlling who has or seems to have the upper hand during the fight. Their graceful strike makes critical hits far more likely, especially when combined with advantage from their feint talent. And yet, this is a beautiful class for just whittling somebody down quickly. So as far as proficiencies go, they start out with the dexterity and constitution saving throws, and they get 3 skills, and they get to choose from athletics, acrobatics, arts and crafts, endurance, insight, perception, performance, sleight of hand, and stealth. It's a nice range of skills, and there's a lot you can do with just about any of these. As far as equipment goes, basic and historical. Now, again, this is not surprising since this is from the perspective that in the Highlander CA, you would be specifically playing somebody who came out of a historical period. So swords, halberds, even some scimitars and sabers would be very much in keeping with this. And in fact, as far as the recommended equipment goes, like the Combat Scout, there is a Graceful Warrior pack as an equipment pack recommended, and it recommends a rapier or katana, two much beloved weapons in fantasy and fiction lore. So, first level, we have 3 talents. That's Graceful Strike, Graceful Style, and Personal Weapon. So, Graceful Strike. When attacking with your personal weapon, you score a critical hit when you roll a number equal to or greater than the Graceful Strike value indicated for your level on the Graceful Warrior table. And that leads us right into the Graceful Style situation. But Graceful Strike at level 1, by the way, is a 19. So your critical range is now, well, it's effectively doubled. And that just every other level, it goes down. That 1, it's 19, 3, it's 18, 5, it's 17, 7, it's 16, 9, it's 15. By 9th level, you are literally critting on a 15 on a dice roll. That is beautiful. That's
nuts.
Oh my gosh, that's I have no words. Because that's better than 1/4 of a chance to crit. That's wonderful. So Graceful Style. You treat all melee weapons that don't have the heavy property as if they had the finesse property. You also gain +2 to your defense against melee attacks. Now this is really great for a melee combatant here. We saw a similar talent for the martial artist about treating non-heavy melee weapons as finesse weapons. But the idea that just because you're holding a weapon that you now consider a defensive weapon, you're just that much more difficult to hit. You're dodging, you're weaving, you are neo-matrixing out of the way of things. And last level 1, Personal Weapon. Choose a specific melee weapon that you own to be your personal weapon. When wielding this weapon, you can ignore 1 source of disadvantage when making an attack roll. If you take the signature weapon feat later, you treat it as a minor feat. Oh, dear sweet lord. That's beautiful. I mean, this talent effectively gives you a small portion of that very big major feat signature weapon and lets you say, hey, you can get the rest of it as a minor feat. That melds beautifully with the rule sets. Now, if your weapon is destroyed, this is your personal weapon, you can choose a new one. All right, on to level 3. Defensive Reflexes and Feint are our 2 talents here. With Defensive Reflexes, after you are hit by a ranged attack that deals piercing, slashing, or bludgeoning damage, but before you take the damage, you can use a reaction to block the attack and take no damage. But you must be aware of the attack to do this. This is one of those things where you see someone slicing arrows or sling bullets out of the air. It is just mind-bogglingly beautiful to imagine. I'm literally seeing. I know you can't do this with bullets because those do ballistic damage, but I'm seeing in my head when Ryan Reynolds' first time playing Deadpool, he's in the Wolverine Origins movie, just slicing bullets out of the air with his sword. It's beautiful. Now the Feint talent lets you make a feint as a bonus action. This is a melee attack roll that you make against an opponent within reach, and if you hit, you don't deal damage, but instead, you get advantage on all attack rolls made against that opponent until the end of your turn. You are setting yourself up like crazy. And if you did the multi-class feats to get a bit of that Scoundrel Vital Strike, oh dear God. Wow. And that means you have advantage with a higher crit possibility. This is setting up to go nuclear. At level 5, we have 2 talents, Adaptive Reflexes and Advanced Combat Training. Now, Advanced Combat Training, we've seen this in a lot of combat-focused classes. Once during your turn, when you take the attack action, you can make 2 attacks as part of that action. Now, if you've made that feint bonus attack first as a bonus action, and then you get 2 times with advantage against that one opponent, that's pretty slick. And with Adapted Reflexes, when an opponent attacks you with advantage, but before they roll their attack, you can just use your reaction to cancel the advantage. You can ignore 1 source of disadvantage when attacking with your personal weapon. Now you can just shut someone else's advantage down. This person is an artist of death. Oh my goodness. Now at level 7, Feint gets even better, and so does the Adapted Reflexes. In the advanced feint talent at level 7, when you hit with your feint attack, in addition to the other stuff you get, the advantage you get from on that target for the rest of your turn if you hit with the feint, if you hit with your feint attack, your target now has disadvantage on their next attack made against you before the start of your next turn. You are rattling them so badly that they are having a difficult time even responding to you with another blow. And then dangerous reflexes. When wielding your personal weapon, opponents within your reach who miss you with a melee attack provoke an attack of opportunity from you. So whether you get hit or missed, you've got something fun you can be doing with that reaction of yours. Oh my goodness! Because usually,
no mystery how popular this class is.
Oh, there is no mystery here. There is no mystery at all why this class is popular. Oh my goodness, you're hard as heck to hit, and you are just messing with your opponents with a decent number of attacks. Now the capstone here, level 19. And remember, at level 19, your Graceful Strike lets you crit on a 15 on the dice if you're using your personal weapon. You also get ultimate reflexes. If you hit your opponent after using dangerous reflexes, that's the reflex opportunity attack you get in level 7. You get an additional reaction until the beginning of your next turn. So if you hit with dangerous reflexes, you get a second reaction. This is wow.
That's something I don't think you don't really see having like an additional off-turn action.
No, I think the Bodyguard's the only other class in the game that I can think of that does that, and you don't see that in a lot of other D20 based games.
No, not at all.
If
I was playing like a battle royale, this is probably the character that I would build. Because it would frustrate the hell out of any other player at the table.
Oh yeah, it'd be shutting down advantages, it'd be doing slicing and dicing, and it would be critting a ridiculously large amount of the time just going by the statistics. Yeah, this is the Highlander.
Yeah. All that extended critical range, and then to also have all these opportunities to throw advantage. I mean, you're right. Like your chances of critting at these higher levels is, I won't say guaranteed, but your odds are good.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I love it. Now, that is contingent on using your specific personal weapon, but again, if that talent gives you the escape hatch of, hey, if it's damaged or lost, you can declare another one. You can gain another one with a sufficient enough time. It's beautiful. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a feeling this is going to be the favorite in the poll.
It's certainly going to be a heavy contender. We know it's already popular as it is.
No doubt.
I mean, if they wait till after the show and listen to it, that might be the winner. But we'll have to see if they vote before the show or after the show.
Fair point.
Before the show, but I would put my money on Graceful Warrior coming out as the top dog.
Yeah.
Oh man!
Even though both the Combat Scout and the Motorhead, they have some beautiful stuff in there too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be anyone's race.
Oh yeah.
And I think that does it for the Graceful Warrior. Unless you all have any other things you want to bring up about it, or other cinematic moments that it makes you think of.
I don't know about cinematic, but if you were going to build like a modern day Driz Duerden,
Ooh, yeah.
I think you're looking at Graceful Warrior.
Oh yes. That would be beautiful. Oh, whenever Everyday Arcana comes out, this is getting done.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
whenever that elf, I know there's an elf origin that was previewed on the Patreon and the Facebook profile for it. I know it's still in planning and writing phases. But elf origin Graceful Warrior, we're getting Dritz in a leather overcoat.
That'd be
oh,
sweet.
so badass.
Leather pants, leather vest.
It's Dritz Duerden. The man's got to be neck to toe in leather.
Oh,
Yeah.
Obviously.
No ball gag. Now, will he be hanging out at the Blue Oyster or?
At the
Police
Blue
Academy
Oyster.
reference. I love it. Oh dear God! I need to rewatch the Police Academy films now.
Oh, good times.
That was good. That was good.
Oh.
Oh.
I don't have much much else to add. I mean, other than maybe you might luck out and find out and get one of those an anime weeb in your group, and they've got to have the their katana. And
Oh yeah, that would be beautiful. Saying like this, hey, this is the sword of my ancestors, or this is Inigo Montoya's the sword forged by my father.
yeah,
That's what they got to do. That's the next
Oh.
IP. Princess Bride years ago did come out, and I don't know if it's like 5 years ago, but they did come out with an RPG. But I
Really?
haven't. It was on Kickstarter. I never.
Sweet.
It wasn't never really advertised. I don't know, if the company still has the licensing or not. But if they don't, Dave, I know you're listening. Princess Bride. We need the Princess
Ooh.
Bride.
Hello, I am Inigo Montoya.
cool.
You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Prepare to die. Do you start all your conversations this way?
I know. I saw. I mean, Dave's looking for new movies and stuff. I saw he threw out the suggestion about possibly Terminator Salvation. I mean, for all we know, maybe Matrix. That's always a good one too.
Matrix, maybe. Like I don't know. I'm not really on board with Terminator. I got to be honest with you guys. I'm not really on board with Terminator.
I think both have potential.
Mm-hmm. I think so too.
I'd have to see. I mean, I'm I'm not set in stone on that. I'm just like, now if you want to go back and do Terminator 2,
T2 is possibly one of the greatest sequels of all time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's hard to make a good sequel, and they did it.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the exception of Police Academy 1 through 4. 2 through 4, great sequels.
Hot take.
I just love Police Academy movies. I love them so much.
Yeah.
Oh, Mahoney.
Our references are so outdated. It's crazy.
Oh, I know.
And that's why everybody loves us.
And Commandant Lassard. Oh dear God, Lassard.
Yeah.
The man was a walking entropy case. Oh.
Oh yeah.
But if not Terminator, I think RoboCop would be a good replacement.
Yes, I think RoboCop would be better. Yeah. It's very dystopian. It's got RoboCop. It's got Ed 209. It's got Dick, You're Fired. I mean, it's got Red Foreman.
Yep.
Can you stop, Bobby?
And the man that got left in the microwave too long. That was the best part.
Ooh.
Now I'm gonna go out on a limb with this one. This is sci-fi, but Alienation.
Ooh, Alienation.
Interesting.
That's a good one. Now, if they would break into television shows, not just do movies, but break into television shows, Andromeda would be a really fun one.
Yes.
Ooh, yes.
Andromeda would be amazing.
That would be fantastic.
Now we are getting intergalactic heroes. We might be able to pull Andromeda off with that.
Yes.
Very well could. Again, what they've been showing on the Facebook and on the Patreon, it's got some really cool stuff, and they're in the midst of beta testing right now. So definitely looking forward to that.
Me too.
Yeah, these new books are cracking it wide open as far as options. Everyday Arcana and Intergalactic Heroes are. I mean, it opens all the possibilities wide. I mean, there's nothing you can't pull from. Mm-hmm. I would like to see some more. I love the Crow cinematic adventure as like a horror-esque cinematic adventure. I mean, a lot of the other ones do lend to the hero thing, and the Crow does lend to an anti-hero, so to speak. But there's a lot of options with Intergalactic Heroes. It does open up the sci-fi door.
Mm-hmm.
Everyday Arcana opens up the fantasy door a little bit, cracks it open. I mean, when I hear Everyday Arcana, I think Bright.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Definitely think Bright. I also think the Dresden Files, both
Dresden. I
the
was
short-lived
just watching
sci-fi
Dresden.
TV show and the novels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go out on a limb here and change it up just a hair, but if they had some type of horror companion,
Ooh.
so now you can, you not, the IPs are out there, there's only so much, expensive and stuff like that, but you
Mhm.
can touch on Michael Myers, you can touch on Jason Voorhees, especially tomorrow's Friday the 13th, even though we're recording this, early, so you guys won't hear it until the 20th, but
And easily,
yeah.
oh my gosh, and easily the most lendable one is Underworld.
And,
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. But don't,
I think
I got to say Freddy Krueger. All right, now Underworld, yes.
Yes.
I think we're missing
Underworld.
an obvious one. Phantasm.
Oh,
Phantasm.
Phantasm is so
I
bizarre.
completely forgot about that.
It's
Now,
Yeah.
now with the coming of Everyday Arcana and a horror, you can do the Leprechaun.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm sorry,
And-
Deras, but I blew up your ass.
Because I do know that one of the origins would be gnome, and there are some interesting magical things there that could be easily flavored to make it a bit of the Irish there. But
Oh yeah.
and
Oh,
and I
it's
know
not to my
that.
Lucky Farms. Oh, do.
Excellent serial and Austin Powers reference right there. Oh yeah.
It
Yeah,
seems we've gone a bit off topic.
Yes, yes. I think
mean,
it's
usually
time for
we like to.
motorheading.
Yes, I think we should try and save off topic in the future till after we get through the characters, the classes, and the archetypes.
Sure.
Now, who's up for the Motorhead?
I guess that's me.
Woohoo!
I got a little something to play here.
Ooh.
Motorhead.
I didn't even know they caught you. Oh, Snake Plissken in my cab? Wait till I tell Eddie.
I love that so much.
We are on to Motorhead. Nothing in the world sounds as sweet to you as the roar of a powerful engine and rubber tires screeching. You look back at the
Preach.
vehicles you have owned like others might consider their own children. You can build them, fix them, drive them like no one else. Motorheads have significant advantages driving, flying, or operating any kind of vehicle in an action setting. They are also given a good number of skill and equipment proficiencies, making them versatile heroes. Motorheads don't have many talents to use when not in the driver's seat, but no one can match them when they're behind the wheel. Their proficiencies, so their saving throws are dexterity and intelligence. Their skills, they pick up to 3 for arts and crafts, computers, endurance, mechanics, natural science, streetwise, and vehicles. Their equipment, they have basic, advanced, and improvised equipment, which is a nice spread. Expertise, so they gain expertise in mechanics and vehicles, provided you already have the proficiency. And their equipment recommendations are the driver pack, and their weapons are they recommend a monkey wrench, Molotov cocktail, and a heavy revolver.
Love it.
As you can tell from our picture.
Oh yeah, the art for this in the book is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's a chick wearing some heavy overalls with a giant monkey wrench. She's got a gauge and a gas mask, and she got a sweet ride behind her. It's cool, man. It's good art. It's good art.
Mm-hmm.
So at level 1 they got combat driver. They also have a point pool system called the motor pool, and at level 1, it's from level 1 to 9. They go up to 5. And it looks like at every odd number it goes up. So there you go.
Nice.
At level 1 they got combat driver. Level 3 advanced combat driver. At level 5 advanced combat training. At 7 max performance, and at level 9 master motorhead. That sounds like an ex-girlfriend of mine. So combat driver, you do not have disadvantage when making ranged attacks due to being a moving vehicle. You treat integrated vehicle weapons as advanced equipment instead of military equipment. which is
Sweet.
So to explain the motor pool, the motorhead gains access to motor pool talents. At first level, you select a single motor pool talent from the motor pool list, and when the number of pool talents increases, as shown in the motorhead table, you choose an additional motor pool talent. These choices are permanent. Sorry, I have a plate of nachos in front of my face, and a cat was trying to eat it, so I'm slightly distracted. I apologize.
Nachos in the house.
There we go. Yeah, a voice appeared from nowhere, and it was a cat. He was being a butthole. And
Oh,
yeah,
These
these are my nachos, kitty. These are my nachos. I can't do
are
it.
my kitty. I'm taking my nachos. Kitty being a dodo. I know, so kitty sipping on mine tonight.
So advanced combat driver. During a chase, if you use the brace or gain ground action during your turn while driving or piloting a vehicle, you can use a bonus action to make an attack with an integrated weapon. Let's see. And advanced combat training. Once during your turn, when you take an attack action, you can make 2 attacks as part of that action, which is pretty awesome. Max performance. The strength, dexterity, and constitution modifiers of any vehicle you are driving are increased by 2. And master motorhead. Double the number of chase points you receive for winning a dexterity vehicles contest, overcoming a challenge, or avoiding a hazard as a driver of a vehicle, which is really cool, especially if you like doing chases. Pepper, will you stop? All right, so the motor pool. You have avert disaster, backstreets, burnout, daredevil driver, evasive maneuvers, inconspicuous, let's roll, nimble, quick fix, repo man, safety first, and too cool. So to avert disaster, you can re-roll one failed vehicle damage saving throw. You cannot use this talent again until you've taken a short rest. Backstreets is you have advantage on wisdom streetwise checks while navigating a vehicle. Burnout is you have advantage when making driving speed contests. Daredevil drivers, you have advantage when making a dexterity vehicles check to perform a vehicle stunt. Evasive maneuvers. Until the start of your next turn, you can take an action while driving a vehicle to give disadvantage to all attack rolls against the vehicle or its passengers. Inconspicuous, you can use dexterity vehicles when making checks to follow someone when driving a vehicle and remain unseen, which is a classic, private investigator spy technique. And
oof.
furthermore, you have advantage when making these checks. Let's roll, you can enter and start or exit a vehicle as a bonus action. Note that this assumes you have the necessary keys or the like to open and start the vehicle. This also assumes that you are within 5 feet of the vehicle's cockpit or the driver's seat. Nimble, you have advantage when making driving maneuverability contests. Quick fix, you can attempt to repair damage to a vehicle as an action during a chase or combat. No tools are needed. Make an intelligence mechanics to check to lower the level of one vehicle condition by 1. The DC is based on the current level of condition. A totaled vehicle cannot be repaired with a quick fix. And the condition level is 1 through 3, and the DCs are 10, 15, and 20. Repo Man. You can use intelligence mechanics or intelligence vehicles when trying to hotwire, open, or control vehicle without its keys. You also have advantage on these checks. And safety first, you have advantage on dexterity vehicles checks to avoid a crash. And too cool, the final one, you have advantage on a single charisma check made while driving a vehicle. You can't use this talent again until you've taken a short rest. And there you have it. That is the Motorhead in its totality.
One of the, I mean, obviously it has combat attributes, but it does lend to a lot more of the non-combat stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant in a chase. Oh my gosh. You
Yeah.
get into a car chase with one of these guys, it's done.
This reminds me
This
of
to me, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say this is a perfect one for if you want to build a character like Baby or what's the John Statham movie?
Transporter.
Transporter. Yes, thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Transporter. This is a great Steve McQueen character.
Mad Max.
Mad Max.
Very Mad Max. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And actually, I think I mentioned to you guys just when we were chatting off podcast. I love making Marvel Cinematic Universe character builds using everyday heroes.
Yeah.
And one of the first things I did for Sam Wilson as Falcon from the first saga was put him on Motorpool, because put him in a wingsuit with some cybernetic exosuit add-ons. The guy is just zipping and stealth following and aerial combat maneuvering all over the place.
You know, I just realized that we passed over the perfect cinematic hero for this class, and that is Vin Diesel's character in The Fast and the Furious.
Oh, that would be
Yeah.
perfect.
Yes.
That is perfect.
You know,
Toretto?
Yeah,
Is that his name?
Toretto. Yeah.
Hats off to Vin.
You know, I think what has to happen is Dave needs to send a copy of Everyday Heroes to Vin Diesel since he plays D&D.
Oh, he would get a kick out of this.
And then
he
send
did?
him a copy of... Wait, what?
Oh, no,
He did what?
Good.
All right,
Did he actually do that?
It'd be sweet if he did. I'll take that.
Yeah, I think we need to. I think we got to get this in the hands of Vin Diesel, and maybe like with a printout of the Motorhead, and just name it Toretto. Yeah, see, that's the thing that really, we got to get this pushed, and it would help if we can get like some type of celebrity involved somehow.
Oh, yeah.
Like D&D has a ton. There's a ton of D&D player celebrities out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
True enough.
Vin Diesel, Joe Manganiello. I can't think of his name. He was in Scream. He was in Hackers.
Deborah Wolf too.
He was
Matthew
in
Lillard?
Summercat. Matthew Lillard.
Mm-hmm.
Deborah Ann Wall from
From Daredevil.
True Blood and Daredevil. Yeah. So we kind of gotta find someone that we can like, hey, you need to try this game out.
Oh yeah.
And get them to have some fun, maybe with an ego adventure, one of the cinematics, and get them to tell their friends.
Oh,
You know,
would be awesome too. Speaking of doing all that too, getting a copy in the hands of Henry Cavill and Adrian Paul, and sitting down for a Highlander game with the two of them.
Well, okay, so Adrian Paul was at Origins, and so there was this big Highlander event on Saturday.
Oh, the Dark Gathering.
Yes. So I played it. One of my friends played it, and they got Adrian Paul to read a couple of things at the beginning of it to kick it off. And he went around to each table listening to people tell the backstories of their characters.
Nice.
And then,
so cool.
He's hung around, maybe it was like 10 or 15 minutes. Then he gets back up in front of everybody and says, listen, he's like, I've never been to one of these conventions before. I really don't know what it's about. But, and I'm paraphrasing here, that, I was kind of inspired by listening to everyone's stories about their characters, that their creativity. So,
that's so cool.
It is cool. And And it was very cool for him to do that. I mean, this is at 7 o'clock at night. He's already been signing autographs and doing photo ops like all that, most of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he took time to come over and do this was amazing. And he was very nice. He didn't stick around too long because he was probably tired. He probably went to
Late
eat.
night.
He's like, right. Right. So, but it was very nice of him to do that reading, to at least stick around for a few minutes, stop by the tables, listen to what people are saying, given the descriptions of the characters and part of the story. I think more actors, I think you find some good actors, they would definitely be good role players.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely.
I would tell you right now, one of the people I would love to see either play a tabletop game or run a tabletop game would be Gabriel Iglesias, aka Fluffy.
Oh,
With all the voices he does, he would be absolutely amazing.
He would be fantastic.
Well, I mean, the most important celebrity to get this in the hands of is Eric Roberts.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I was wondering when he would be mentioned today.
I don't
know if you knew this, but he didn't think The Dark Knight was that great.
Really?
I'm scrolling through facts right now.
What you guys need to do with the passing of James Earl Jones is watch Best of the Best.
Oh, may he rest in peace.
Yes.
Oh, we lost so many good ones. Oh my god.
He gives a very good speech in that movie. And you guys need to see it.
Definitely putting it on the to-do list.
Is it the best of the best speeches?
It's just the movie's called Best of the Best.
I think he missed it.
Yes, no, I got it. I just ignored it. But it's a good movie. It was like 88 or 89 it came out. I think it was 89. So Eric Roberts was still kind of young. Kind of. He still looked old, but he's still kind of young.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got James Earl Jones in it. With his passing, you need to see it.
Aye.
That's your assignment. Assignment 11. Watch Best of the Best.
I mean, to be honest, I would listen to James Earl Jones read a phone book. I mean, that man's voice is beautiful.
He was the spokesman for the Bell telephone book.
I rest my case.
Yeah. It was the book that got Bubba cooked. Bubba was a fish. So yes. I would love to push Best of the Best as an IP, but I don't think it would transfer well because the original movie was about getting together a U.S. karate team to go up against the Korean national team.
Oh,
so very good.
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend it. I don't know what Rotten Tomatoes gives it. I don't know what IMDb gives it. It is a good movie. I can almost quote it verbatim. I haven't watched it in a while, but I could walk in and I can pick up right where the scene is and who's saying what in every line. I could do that with Top Gun.
Nice. All right, Best of the Best. Definitely putting that on my watch list.
And if you don't have it, let me know. I'll invite you to my Plex and you can watch it.
Oh, thanks.
You can get it for 99 cents on Amazon.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Oh, well, hopes are dashed.
or it's free on my Plex. Either way.
Yeah.
Righto.
It's a 6.4 out of 10 according to IMDb.
That's not bad.
No.
Very good, actually.
33 on Rotten Tomatoes.
A 33 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. Chris Penn's in it.
Yes, Chris Penn is also in it. I forgot about that.
Oh, shit.
Huh.
He's another one who passed away, but that was a while ago.
Oh, Kane Hodder? Wow.
It's amazing the films that some of these well-known names end up being in, that just because the film itself was either a certain age or wasn't quite as well publicized, we just don't hear about them until good friends bring them up.
Yeah, it's a little known movie, but me and one of my really good friends, watched it. It's great. It's just great. You know what? might mention to him that he has a nice backyard and he got a blow up movie projector screen and mini projector last year. And I might have to be like, dude, once it starts to get a little bit nicer in a couple weeks, we should have a best of the best night on like a Friday night or Saturday night out in the backyard with a couple of drinks.
Nice.
It's that season.
Yeah. So, has anybody else thought about PAX since our last PAX conversation?
I got I picked up a 3-day pass just in case
Oh,
for
did
whatever
you?
day we decide. Yeah, I just you know what, I was like, whatever. I was like, I'll just get the pass. I was either way, I can just drive right up there. I'll just buy the 3-day pass so I can pick and choose whatever day I want. No fuss, no muss.
Yeah. I have no idea if I'm gonna be able to go or not, so it's still kind of up in the air for me.
I should be able to go for what, just drive up there for one day and but I have to drive back probably that evening. But I'm looking at the schedules and seeing what day would work,
Excellent. Yeah,
because
I'm pretty much
I would
good
love
for
to experience it.
whatever day.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why I just got the 3-day pass. So I was like, oh, if we decide, Friday or Saturday or Sunday, I was like, I'm all set. I don't even have to think about it. Because I got the same deal where I could just drive up and then drive back at night, no problem.
Yeah, it's close enough that at least for the two of us, it's feasible.
Yeah, it's very close for me. So,
Oh yeah, it is.
Score.
yeah, because Eric's like, hey, do you want to run some stuff? And I'm like, yeah.
I'm gonna be busy.
I would like to, but the way PAX run, they don't schedule events like
Yeah.
Gen Con or
I
Origin.
remember you mentioning that. That seems like a very strange situation.
Remember, PAX runs video game conventions, and they decided to
Right.
Unplugged, which is tabletop, and they applied the same logic that you would do at a video game convention. Yes, exactly. And that was the first year back in 2017 because I had to fix something on my car, and I found my badge from the first PAX in my glove compartment.
That's when I was there. It was 2017, I think.
Yeah, it was the first year they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how it goes this year, but I'll
Yeah.
definitely be there. So I'm free and open for whatever day we land on. We get up there and
Yeah, we get
see
to
some stuff for the pod, poke around, hang out.
Yeah, I mean, we could even if we don't play anything, which if we can, would be great. But I mean, we could still hang out with the EGG people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what
And
I'm
to
looking
see
forward
and
to.
meet each other in person for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You can get some FaceTime in with Dave, talk to Sig again in person, and whoever else will be there. I know Hallie will probably be there. She'll probably be at the booth most of the time. But I know
it'll be
Sig
good
works
to
the booth.
see everyone in person,
Truth. Yeah, it's looking like it's looking like probably the Saturday, maybe the Friday evening, but the Saturday's looking the most free for me. But I will again triple check and let you all know.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
only
okay.
September. It's not until the first weekend of December, so there's still October, November in the way.
Oh yeah, but it is good to, especially with any convention, to try and get your tickets often and early.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know November the hotel blocks for Origins open up, so I got to make sure I put that on my calendar, my Google Calendar, remind me for that, so I can book the hotel room.
Wow, that is early. Goodness.
Yeah, I used to be able to do it in
hotels
January.
are sold out.
Oh yeah. If you don't get it like day one, chances are getting a hotel that's close is
Ugh.
rare. There's
Yeah.
3 attached to the convention center. You have the Sonesta, the Hyatt Regency, and the Drury Inn suites. So I like staying at the Hyatt because it's attached. It's reasonably priced for the convention. So, I just go, it's like, okay, go out to the elevator, go down. I'm at the big bar on 2, and the convention center is right there. Once I don't have to go to the outside. And there were years there that I never did go to the outside.
Never saw daylight.
Nope.
I saw daylight for smoke breaks. That was it.
Yeah, that's back when the badge was like $55-$60. You paid for your game tickets at about $4 a piece, and total would be like 95 to $100 for everything, and it's like, all right, I've got game. Okay, I need a little bit of time to eat and to go shopping.
Fair enough.
So that's when my schedule was full. Oh, but good times, definitely good times.
And hopefully,
And,
good times ahead too.
Yes. What we should do is if we do the podcast from there, we should definitely have Dave on at that point.
Oh, that'd be grand.
And I'm sure he would do it as long as he has time.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
So,
sure we can workshop it.
now I can bring my handcuffs, so we can just handcuff him to a chair and force him
Oh
to talk.
no, we really shouldn't do that.
I got a key.
That goes one of two ways, and I'm not sure. I don't know Dave well enough to know.
And there's no real good way to ask that particular question.
No.
No,
But I'm sure if he has time, he would do it. And then we'd have to ask him really tough questions. It can't be easy. We can't be, giving him like softball questions. We gotta bring the challenge.
Like, what's the meaning of life?
Like, what's the next stuff coming in order?
That's easy. Thin Mint cookies.
Thin
You know
Mints or
what?
Samoas?
Yes.
You know what?
Oh, gotta love Smollett, yeah.
Wait. I used to be all about the Thin Mints for years and years and years. That's all I would eat. And then there was the Samoas. Now, where I live, the bakery that does it, they don't call them Samoas. They're now Caramel Delight.
Oh
yeah.
There'll still be Samoas to me.
I always call them
known for
Samoas.
years. Yeah.
Right,
I
but
thought
it's
they were more
two different. It's two different bakeries that do them. The West Coast are still called Samoas. The East Coast are now called Delights. They are the purple box. Oh, but
Okay.
no. It's the peanut butter patties, the red box, the
Okay.
chocolate covered. Yes, that's
Oh,
it right
yeah.
there.
That's my jam. Thin Mints and those.
There
We
was
have
also wonderful
ventured
lemon
into
cookies.
Girl Scout cookie territory at this point.
Maybe that's the time we should go ahead and call it for the night.
Yeah.
Let's give them an hour-long one.
Because and then that'll mean since I'm currently out of Girl Scout cookies, that means we'll have to tough it out until we start Tough Heroes next time.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a belabored pun, and I apologize.
You know what? You went for it, and it panned out for you.
Now I'm thinking about cookie dough and cookie pans. I really want cookies.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
So,
walking this
like you
far
said,
after
next episode we'll start, hanging tough like New Kids on the Block.
this. Yeah.
There's a good there's a reference. Oh yeah, I got that reference.
And if it wasn't for copyrights, we could play a little bit of the music when we start.
Yeah, maybe.
Awesome.
Maybe I'll cue something up. I don't know.
I wouldn't, because YouTube will take the video down.
That is true. They will. Yeah.
If there's copyright material, they're like, nope, you're gone.
It's better to stay safe than sorry with when it comes to the law.
Yes. I shot the law, but the law won.
It generally does.
It does.
All right. Well, you all have a wonderful night, and as always, fantastic gabbing with you all and just loving this game together.
Always a good time. Good to have you back, Spec.
Here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And yeah, bring it on home, Brobarian.
Absolutely. So, everybody, thank you for joining us on this episode. You can always reach out to us. Our email is down there at the bottom of the video. It's EGGG. That's 3 G's. EGGG. Goon Squad at gmail.com. Again, that's EGGGoonsquad.com. Or at google.com. Gmail.com. I know how to talk, everybody. Believe me.
It's at something.com.
I know how to talk. Okay. God damn it. I know how to talk. I am not drunk on Nacho House nachos. Beer cheddar. All right.
That's some high proof cheddar there.
Yes. I heard it's 90 proof.
My breath may or may not be flammable at this point. I'm not willing to divulge that information.
Definitely don't light any matches right now. Oh gosh.
Anyway,
We're we're all just punch drunk and silly here, aren't we?
Oh my God, yes. I'm so ready for bed.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Bye bye.
Oh boy.